Hello and welcome to the Trish Rock Inspires podcast, where we explore spirituality, intuition, and life so that you can learn a different and greater perspective on who you are, why you are here, and find more meaning and purpose in your life. Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts. But now, sit back and enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome everybody to this episode of Trish Rock Inspires. This is series 6, Sparking Your Spirit, and today we've got an amazing guest on who truly does do amazing work, really helping so many people with their health and their vibrance. Welcome, Ananda from Heart Radiance Australia.
Thank you, Trish. I'm so pleased to be here today with you and excited to talk.
Yay. Ananda Mahony is one of a mother-daughter trio of women that creates Heart Radiance Australian Wildflower Essences. Heart Radiance Essences focus on the specific needs of women across their life, from puberty to birthing, menopause to the wise woman phase of life. At Heart Radiance, the vision is to use vibrational flower essences to transform the lives of women worldwide by empowering them to connect with the deep, precious parts of their being, realize the full potential of their feminine consciousness, and foster emotional well-being. I can't wait to get into this discussion with you because I know the power of essences, and I also know a little bit about your company. But let's start first off, and let me ask you about Heart Radiance Australia and how did that come about? You're with your mother and sister, the three of you?
Well, it's a bit of a story because, and I think a journey back into love. I'm going to say that, and because I love working with my mum and sister, and it really was for me a shift away from some things that I'd been doing before and a shift towards them because I just really needed to be enveloped in that family environment, in the love that is between us. But the story of Heart Radiance is that my mum, Annie Meredith, she had been working with flower essences for years, and she actually introduced some of them into Australia and into the colleges in Australia. And she was working with the various different brands, but she's also an acupuncturist and she was working with women and women's health. And what she realized was there was a little bit of a gap, a disconnect. There were essences and they were amazing, but there were no essences that had been really developed specifically with women in mind to deal with women's issues and those issues of feminine consciousness and working with the rhythms of the universe and earth at that very physical and physical and energetic level that was aligned with women's health. And so she was inspired and she was getting messages in meditation, you just need to do this work. And the first essence she developed was with my sister. Now we're three generations. I'm a lot older than my sister, and so even that is interesting because we come at we look at things very differently. But my sister had just had her first period, and she was in pain, and Mum was comforting her. And as she did that, she looked out across the garden, and this flower was peeking out at her. And it was native hibiscus, which is one of the most beautiful flower essences for women's health concerns, for hormonal issues and menstrual issues. And that was her realization. She made up that essence and the kind of clue to that was, my sister in her first step into that hormonal journey. And then she developed a whole range of essences, and I think there's 29. I know there's 29, but of of that, 20 of them are really focused on aspects of women's health and feminine consciousness.
I love
Yeah.
that. And the fact that you are three kind of generations, you can really deep dive and have a look at all the different issues facing women over those periods of time, because it's different
Mm.
at different ages. So
Yeah, we have some interesting conversations. Like, my sister she's got two young children, so she's in that very much the demands of the working mum stage and the stresses and the joys that come with that. I am at the kind of the very cusp of perimenopause, almost at that, I'm going to call it the upgrade stage, where hormones may not dictate to me as much, which has been a journey, and a journey that I wasn't ready to let go of till recently. And now I'm like, yeah, bring it on.
yeah,
And Mum's
yeah.
that wise woman stage. She's really, through it all, running her own rhythms to her own time. And yeah, she's definitely in that wise woman mentality and stage of life. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it is
And,
interesting.
it's magical that the three of you came together to create this, because, there are different essences out there for different things, but you've created like a whole range that covers whatever the woman's body is going through, because
Yeah,
it is very changeable,
yeah.
as we know.
Sometimes it can be a roller coaster.
Absolutely. And there's those periods of time as well when you're kind of one step in one age group and one in the other, and you're kind of experiencing it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, that's amazing. What a beautiful environment. And I know that it means a lot to you to be in that family environment and to be in this beautiful Heart Radiance business with your sister and your mum. And you you're also qualified in women's health as well.
Yeah, well, I'm a naturopath.
Yes.
So, when I decided to branch out from the family and do something completely different, of course, I didn't actually fall very far and decided that I wanted to go into naturopathy. And so that was, very early in my life. And I love it. And I guess, though, in that almost 30 years that I've been doing that, naturopathy has had some big shifts. And so it was very the art of naturopathy and herbal medicines and kind of was very much when I started out, but then it went into a very, very evidence-based and science, and I followed that trend. And so I was very evidence-based and science in my work, and I studied, and my area of interest was actually chronic pain, and chronic pain in women, a lot around those hormonal concerns such as endometriosis and adenomyosis, but also more broadly, women going through menopause who come with musculoskeletal pain and or
Yeah.
any type of chronic pain, was what I worked with. And I guess I love doing it. I still find it interesting. I'm fascinated by, people's stories and the journeys to how they got to where they are when they come and see me. Is all very unique. But a little, 4 or 5 years ago, I started to go, I'm operating in a very, very medical model, even within naturopathy. And I really had this yearning to come back to the art, and also with people in chronic pain, there's often a significant history of trauma, whether it be trauma that started the pain or medical trauma from being in chronic pain. And I was finding that the tools that I have were working, but there was always deeper layers, deeper emotional, mental, and belief patterns that were often sustaining or contributing to the chronic pain. And so I, started to revisit and come back to flower essences. And at that stage, COVID hit, and Mum was considering retiring. And, Grace and I, my sister and I, just came together and said, these are too much, these are too important just to let go. So we came on board, and have now been part of the team for, well, since the beginning of COVID. And I love it because it allows me to bridge that world between, if you want the science and the art, but also that very kind of doing what I need to do from an evidence-based perspective, but picking up some of those deeper emotional needs of the patients that come and see me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, all medicine kind of starts in the natural world.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit, for everyone listening, how do flower essences and how can flower essences really support someone's health?
Yeah, I think maybe I'll talk a little bit about the vibrational nature. And as human beings, we're all vibrational beings. We resonate with the rhythms of the universe and the earth on physical and energetic levels. And every cell in our body, every organ, and even our thoughts and emotions emit unique frequencies. And that creates a dynamic energy field that connects us to everything in the world around us. And this vibrational nature means that we constantly interact and are influenced by the energy of others, or by the environment and the world around us. And within that, we have a continuum of frequencies from the lowest to the very highest frequency. So I think about a high frequency state might be a state of mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And that reflects those higher frequencies of higher consciousness or higher being. Whereas a chronically ill state or a stuck mental emotion pattern may reflect a state of lower vibration that's not serving us. Now, that's not a judgment. We all have these as a dynamic expression. We're all on that journey. And so it's not a static, I'm only high frequency and you're only low. It's like, yeah, we're all there at
We're
various
all
different
there,
times of
and
our life.
depending on the day.
Yes, exactly. So those frequencies can shift in response to our thoughts, our emotions, and external energies. And that's why vibrational practices or remedies such as flower essences can profoundly impact us. And if I think about plants from a vibrational perspective, or flowers in particular, they're the highest expression of the plant kingdom, the flowers are. And flowers, therefore, are the crowning glory. And from a vibrational perspective, they are the highest vibrational expression of a plant. And so they might equate to as human beings, our higher self. The plant's highest vibrational frequency is the flower.
Yeah,
So
because that's the result, isn't it? That's the flower is the result of all of the energy of the plant coming to bloom. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we are using flower essences, it's basically a vibrational entrainment. We give flower essences orally, or we spray them in a mist or apply them topically. And it's a vibrational frequency of a very high vibrational frequency, which entrains or starts to shift lower vibrational frequencies. I like to think that flower essences raise up our frequencies. And this can happen really fast in an acute issue. If we're in crisis, sometimes just something like our remedy crisis calm can just bring us right back to center. Most patterns are a little bit longer held or a little bit set, or they could be set at key times in our life. And so they take a little bit longer. And I equate that or describe that as sometimes it's like gently wearing away or working on shifting those patterns. So that might be 3 weeks or 6 weeks of taking an essence to work on a longer held pattern. And I don't necessarily think like that they have to be used on their own by any stretch. They can be used with so many other therapies to support and enhance other therapies. And I think they work really well in that way to facilitate healing that from, say, acupuncture or energetic healing, other forms of energetic healing, or sound medicine, or even just working with herbs like I do, or supplements and diet. So they really can enhance those aspects of healing as well.
It all just helps raise the vibration, doesn't it? And with different health issues that you support with those? Are there different flowers that relate to the different energies of the body and what's going on there?
Yeah, there definitely are. If we can take it from an emotional patterning. So it might be that we see in someone that they've got a pattern of fear or anxiety. And so we would use essences that might work with fear and anxiety. Now, fear can be from several different things. It can be, a deep fear from within that's been with us for a long time. It can be a social anxiety. It could be a specific issue. So we would really try and tailor it, the remedy to the experience of the person from an emotional patterning.
Yeah.
But also we can use them from a chakra perspective. For example, we might use essences that really target the throat chakra for issues of communication or not feeling heard or not having a voice.
Yeah.
Or conversely, taking up too much space and talking too much, probably like I'm doing now.
Oh, no, because it goes both ways. But like the one that you mentioned for, that period pain, I mean, that's a specific one for that area.
Yes. And so we have two that work really nicely in there, native hibiscus and red kamala. Actually, probably three, and snail vine. They're all around those issues of periods, issues with sex and sexuality, issues with intimacy, feeling good about our body and our womanhood and that hormonal expression of our womanhood. Yes. So there's different nuances.
Yeah, I love that. I know a little bit about the flower essences and just really the power of vibration. I'm all into vibration as well. And I know even just, I've got a beautiful body spray, which is just beautiful rose essence. And it just lifts your mood. I know it's not a medicinal one, but people would know that a smell, if it's the highest vibration and a really beautiful, natural kind of smell, really just raises your mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have had flower
It does. A flower essence. Yeah. Sorry, there's a little bit of building going on in the background. I don't know if you
That's okay. I was going to say I have had flower essences before in drop form. I just find them really effective. It's really vibrational. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and the combination of flower essences and aromatherapy is such a potent one. We do the drops, but we also do spray mists, and a lot of those sprays are around particular issues or chakras. And so we can use, and we bring in aromatherapy oils that resonate on a similar level. And so then you've got two resonances coming together. And I think there's a beautiful synergy in that. And I just love the fact that you can spray something, it smells beautiful, you can walk into it and know that you're getting essences and as you say, that uplifting effect from the smell and the aroma.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or a calming effect if you're feeling nervous.
Exactly.
Or a brave, courageous effect if you're feeling a bit fearful.
Yes, well, I did spray one we've got called Empowerment on before I came on the show. I was like, I need a bit of that. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I did smell one of your sprays at a recent event. It was really beautiful. Your products are just so amazing.
Thank you.
And so we've spoken a lot about women's health. Is there products in your range that also support men and children as well?
Absolutely. I'd say that a lot of our products are applicable to children. Because not all of them are focused as specifically on women's health, or so some of them have broader applications, and for men too. The snail vine is about sex and intimacy, and Red Kamala and those ones are about sex and intimacy. And that's not just for women, it's for men's highest expression in that space as well.
Yeah.
So we can use the essences for men. And we do. I guess probably because of the way that they were developed, we have more women attracted to our range, but there certainly are applicable, and we have a number of men using them, lots of men. But on one area that I would bring to mind is, like I said, about 20 of the essences are really kind of were developed with women's health and well-being in mind. There's another 20 that have some more broader applications, particularly around the areas of, I call it loosely spirituality or awareness and self-development, and in the chakra range. And a lot of men come on and do our chakra journey, which is a 12-month chakra journey. So yeah, and it's kind of that development of awareness of the self and higher consciousness. And so that's where I find that it really targets in. But yeah,
Yeah,
men
I
and
love that you offer that, because I work a lot with the chakras, and I just think that's wonderful that that's something that you offer that people can kind of get on board with and do that. It's about empowering yourself, isn't it? And clearing up all of those vibrational um, low points
yeah,
really that have been put there through old beliefs or fears or old stories, and just to kind of clear them up, because that when you're operating from low vibration, you make low vibration decisions, and it's far more empowering to be as high vibration as you possibly can in the moment and make
yeah,
better decisions. Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
feel better, of course.
absolutely. I I used a lot of the essences over time, but when we decided to do, or we'd done the chakra essences and been in place, but I decided to do the journey in a really kind of structured way for myself. And so over the last, it's taken me a little bit longer than 12 months, but over the last about 14 or 15 months, I've been working my way using the essence and some consciousness around that particular chakra. And it's been quite an amazing journey of discovery for myself. And some things that I knew were things that I'd, not bad things, but things you protect yourself, you protect your vulnerabilities and you keep them hidden away. Some of those things have cracked open and released. And in that sense, I have felt it's been quite a journey of liberation and also getting to know myself better over the last 12 months. And I didn't necessarily expect that, because I thought, oh, yeah, I'm a pretty aware person, but I'll go through this journey. And it's like, wow, this has been, a
Oh, and it kind of
interesting
correlates
journey.
just with that new chapter that you're going through as a woman as well, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We kind of do crack open after menopause, and we're like, okay, well, what's next?
yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll wait and see, because I've still got a foot in two camps on that one. Nearly there, not quite.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. And what brings you the most joy? I know you've spoken about, I can feel the joy of you being in the business and creating these things. What brings you the most joy about what you do when you're working with people?
I would have to say, and I've recently gone through a process of looking at what my values are, and it's connection and collaboration. I really love those aspects. And I think that I started talking about coming back in a bit of a journey to love, to return into the fold.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'd ever strayed too far, but coming back in and working with family. Look, I'm not going to say it's always perfect. Sometimes mum has to get the talking stick out, but to make sure that we take turns. But for the most part, it is such a lovely thing to know that I'm driving to work, to be with people that I love and know that I work well with them.
Yeah.
And we've set up some really nice practices around that. We come in and we make sure we connect. We say, well, has anyone got any stuff they need to get off their chest? Not about the other, but just generally about their lives. Like, let's clear all our stuff so that we can
Yeah.
work with the essences in a really great space and from a higher vibrational space. But
Yeah.
that moment together where we're talking, it is just so reconnecting and supportive,
Yeah.
and affirming that it is the right place for me to be working.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah.
So,
And
so they're being created in joyful, high energy as well, which is really important.
mm,
I
yeah.
love that. How wonderful.
And of
Now
course,
you,
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I just love the days when we're making the spray mist, because you just come home smelling divine. There's that too.
Let me try that one again. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Oh, I wish I was there on those days.
Yeah, it's
Now,
lovely.
you've got an amazing offer on for November. Tell us about that.
Yes, we decided against, kind of big, is it Black Friday sales? It's just not our, I'm just going to say it's not our vibe.
No.
So it was like, well, let's just do a slow November sale. Let's allow people to choose, take their time, have a cup of tea, sit down and think about what might work for them. And so we're doing a 20% off sale for our products for the entirety of November, except for kits, and because they're already a little bit discounted, so they're 15% off. And so it was just our opportunity to say thank you and take your time when
Take your
choosing.
time to have a look, have a smell, talk to you about what they need and all that kind of thing. And what are the kits? Are they already pre-made and they're for specific things, or
Yes, we have two kits. One's all the pure essences. So there's probably for people who want to start making up their own essences or work with them as a practitioner. So there's the
right?
pure essences, and they can make up blends for their family or friends or patients. And
Okay,
then we've got pre-blended kits. So they are around specific issues. So we have a concentrate of, say, that you can make up for a patient or a family member or friend called abundance or body love or a quiet mind. So there's two different kits, one of the 29 pure essences and one of 30 blended essences.
wow,
Yeah.
how fabulous! That would be great for somebody who really wants to, start using it in all aspects of their life and for their family as well. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
and clients if they're working in that area.
Yeah.
So can you? Not everybody needs to like you. What am I trying to say? You don't have to physically be there to know what's best for you. Do you do a consult over Zoom or over the phone to help people decide what it is that would be right for them?
Yes. I mean, Annie does consults. She's probably the one who does that the most, but Grace and I also will help with that. Most people want to see Annie because she developed them, so they've got a real affinity, and she is such so generous and with her time and as a practitioner. She's been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
And then, but the essences we have just not just, but we have dose essences. So all of those come in dose form that you can just basically choose.
Okay.
And or the spray mist, and they're really kind of identified by what they're for.
Right.
So for something
Right.
like abundance, it is for feeling lack or feeling like you're missing out or feeling, um, ungenerous because you haven't got much to give. And so it taps into that sense of abundance and generosity uh,
Right.
and looking at, I'm going to say, the gains instead of the gaps. Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And then of course there's the ones like the empowerment one that you
yeah,
you have sprayed. And then of course there's the specific health ones
yeah,
for pain in the body and things like that. Okay.
absolutely.
So do people just go onto the website and have a look around and contact
Yes,
you if they need something, or just you can just order it straight from there as well?
they can. All of the above. They can go on and have a look and choose for themselves. They can contact us and we can help them with their choice, particularly if they've got a specific issue that they'd like something uniquely blended.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's both options there.
Awesome. It's so
Yeah.
easy. It's so easy. All right. Well, I've got all of the links in the description. So for
Thanks.
everyone listening, if something here has sparked your interest, please connect with Ananda, because this is what sparks her spirit. She just loves helping you with this and creating all of these things for you, and helping the whole world become a bit more high vibrational in a natural way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Trish. It's
Oh,
been so lovely to talk to you, and particularly as you say about my passion. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
yeah, you're so welcome. And yeah, you can really, your passion just shines through, and your joy for what you do just shines through. And so I'm sure everybody listening has felt that vibration. I hope they will reach out to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. It's been a joy.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for tuning in to this episode. I look forward to seeing you to the next one.